Michelle, and today I've got for you a mat Pilates workout using a stability ball. So something about this size, we're going to use it to get in a quick full body workout with a special extra emphasis on our inner thighs in particular. Okay, so let's come down to our mat to get started. So place the ball between your knees, lay down on your spine. Get comfortable. Take your arms down next to you on the mat. Feel your feet nice and heavy. All right, so to get us warmed up and start connecting to our breath, we're going to find a nice little curve in your lower back. Take an inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, just blow that air out, almost like you're blowing out a candle. Yeah, and then do that again. Inhale, feel that expansion of the rib cage down into the floor. And then as you exhale, gently feel your abdominals drawing around your spine like a tightening of a corset. Okay, now this time as you exhale, take that breath and use it to squeeze in on the ball with your inner thighs. And then as you inhale, release back to where you started. Yeah? So see if you can kind of connect those two things together, the exhale and that squeeze, and then release it to return. Yeah? And your lungs are kind of doing what this ball is doing, right? They're getting compressed and then kind of reinflating. So try to find that connection. All right, so now this time, when you squeeze the ball, I want you to tuck your pelvis, roll your pubic bone towards the ceiling, and then release back to that neutral curve when you let go of the ball. So I'm tucking my pelvis as we squeeze the ball, and then release as we release the ball. Yeah, do that a few more times. So connecting those two things together. Try to use mostly your abdominals to find that tucking action. All right, so now we're going to continue this and kind of increase it. So now once we squeeze the ball and tuck under, we're going to push our feet into the floor, roll our spine up off the mat, and find a bridge position. Good, now hold here and inhale. And then as you exhale, lengthen back out through your spine. Feel your vertebrae finding the mat. And then as your tailbone touches, release the pressure. Okay, let's do that again. Tucking under, feel like you're dragging your heels towards you on the mat. Hold that squeeze on the ball. And then soften your sternum. Lengthen out through that spine. Okay, let's do that 2 more times. Feel those abdominals to shorten and draw that pelvis towards you. And then try to stretch your spine out even longer on the way down. Okay, last time here, pressing into the backs of the shoulders. Keep the collarbones open wide. And then find yourself back down. All right, now we're going to practice a little leg action that we're going to use at the top of our bridge, okay? But let's practice it here while our tail is on the mat. So leave your thighs on this same angle. Don't change a thing about your thighs, but I just want you to extend one knee so that your shin is matching that diagonal line, and then replace the foot down. And do the other side. You can think of squeezing the ball more as you stretch that leg, and then touch down. Okay, a few more times. Make sure your pelvis isn't rolling from side to side to compensate for the loss of that foot on the floor. Okay, do that one more time with either leg. So increasing the squeeze on the ball when the foot reaches forward. All right, so now roll up to your bridge, find that high position. Now really push into the 3 points left behind, your 2 hands and your 1 foot as you kick one leg out to straight, squeezing on the ball, and then replace it back down. Good, do that a few more times. Squeeze, 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 and then release. Yeah, so your hips are trying to stay as level as possible, side to side. Yes, let's do that one more time on each leg. Good. Now once both feet touch, lift a little higher and then roll back through to find your start position. Whew. All right, now we're going to add on to that a little bit. So roll to your bridge, squeeze the ball, reach one leg forward. Now we're just going to take some little pulses in and out with that straight leg. So your bent leg is going to try to stay totally solid. Let the long one be the pulsar. 3, 2, 1. Set the foot down. Go right away to the other side. Reach it. Thighs are even with each other. Squeeze, squeeze. Ribs down. Good. Replace the foot. Let's do either leg one more time. Reach it and hold. And then nice little squeezes from that one leg only. Other side, and then we'll be done. In, in, in. 2 more pulses. Place the foot down, lift up even higher, and then roll yourself to the floor. Oh, so good. Okay, now stay down with your hips with that nice little curve beneath your lower spine. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. No need to have any particular pressure on the ball. Just take some arm circles. Yeah, so breathe in as you float your arms up, and then exhale as they circle down and around to your sides. Yeah, keep trying that a few more times. So your hands, your arms will stay off of the floor. Yeah, feel the ribs gently drawing down on that reach back of the arms. Okay, now if you'd like, when your arms circle to your hips, we're going to add flexion through the spine. Squeeze the ball, roll up and reach forward with the arms, and then lay down and release the squeeze. Exhale. Now this is just coming from your upper spine. Hopefully, try to leave that little neutral space underneath your low back if possible. Yeah, let's do that 2 more times. If you need one hand behind your head for a little bit of neck support, that is totally fine. All right, now pause at the bottom with your arms reaching back, and let's reverse this motion. So drop the arms forward. You can keep your head down for a few just till we get kind of used to this new direction of the arms. Yeah, feel the scapula gliding along the floor. Now, as your arms cut down through center, nod your chin, flex up and squeeze into the ball, and then release back down. Exhale, nod, allow those shoulder blades to glide up and forward away from the mat. Yeah, squeeze tighter on the ball as your head comes up. Now this time, lift up and stay. Use a hand behind your head if you need it. Flip your palms, and we're gonna go right into a set of 100. So inhaling for 5 counts. Exhaling for 5 counts. Yes, you can do this with your head on the mat and still get an amazing workout for those abdominals without your head being even off the floor. So know that that's an option. Okay, now as you exhale, I want you to squeeze the ball even tighter, deepening that pressure for 5 counts. As you inhale, release the squeeze for 5 counts. Yeah, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more sets, almost done. Good, last set. Now pause with the arms, reach further and squeeze the ball, and then lay yourself down on the mat. So good. All right. So now, if we remember that leg action that we did in our bridge, we're going to come back to that in a bit of a teaser prep. Okay, so just know that that's coming. We're going to start picking those feet up again. Let's practice just the upper body first before we add in that leg, though. So leave the feet on the mat. Maybe scoot your feet out like an inch or 2 further from you. Reach your arms overhead. Okay, so now we're going to work on a teaser prep. So these are movements that build up to the full teaser shape, which is a very fun, hard Pilates exercise, okay? Use the squeeze of the ball to help you. Arms reach back. You're going to breathe in and float your arms up. Now, once your hands kind of pass into your vision, nod your chin, squeeze the ball, and see if you can roll up to sitting. That is not easy. Now, come up just behind your sitting bones. Raise your arms up, and then as slowly as you can, roll back to the mat, and your arms should be just where we started with. Okay, if you felt too cramped, move your feet further out. Now, you can throw your arms. That's totally fine. If that is what's going to get you off the floor today, that is so great. Yeah, you're going to get closer to doing this exercise by doing it somehow than by not doing it at all, right? So if you need to grab your thighs, that's another great one, and pull yourself the rest of the way. Reach the arms and lower down. Okay, you do what you need to do. You can also just lift up halfway if that's floating your boat today, okay? So now let's add in a reach of one leg. So reach the leg on the diagonal like we already know and love. Now lead with your arms. Squeeze that ball so tight as you roll up. Find your balance. Now let's switch legs to come down. Replace that one. Lift the other. Arms are high. And then I roll down with my new leg. Now leave that leg lifted and come back. Nod the chin. Grab a leg if you need to. Low back is still tucked. Chest is lifted. Now switch the feet and roll back down. Whew, so good. A few more times. Leave that leg. Nod the chin. Curl up. Once you find the top of your position, switch feet. Raise the arms a little higher and roll through the spine. So good. All right, now let's get up there and stay this time, squeezing onto the ball. Balance just behind those sitting bones. Now, can you lift both legs up to that long position? If your knees need to be a little soft, that's totally fine. Keep squeezing. Now, can you just tap, tap, tap without really putting weight, just touching the tips of the toes? 3, 2, 1. Now pause with 2 straight legs. Let's try to roll down with our legs long and then just rest your legs down on the mat and relax. Whew. Okay, you guys, so we got into that teaser position and did some good stuff there. So, well done. All right, let's come on up before I lose my ball. We're gonna go into some side lying work. So, lay on your mat, pick a side. Come on down, rest your head in your bottom hand, have your elbow pointing forward, so you're really laying this shoulder blade and kind of side of your ribs down, okay? Both of your legs are long, if that's comfortable for you, and then your ball is gonna be just forward of your shoulder joint of that top arm, okay? So get that top shoulder in a good position. Take a nice breath in. As you exhale, all I want you to do is find a gentle little press on the ball and then let it go. That's it, very simple. And we don't have a ton of leverage here, so this might not be the biggest squeeze ever on the ball. That's okay, we're just kind of warming up this action. Okay, feel that bottom side of your waistline gently pulling away from the floor. Now, to add on to this, when you put the pressure on the ball, your top leg is going to lift just about to hip height and then release back down. Yeah, leave your head heavy in your hand and then come down. It feels good. You're going to be able to feel like you can put more of a squeeze on the ball as this leg is lifting. Good. So that pec and shoulder on the top arm starting to wake up. Now press into the ball and hold. Push even harder onto the ball as your bottom leg comes up to meet your top leg. As they both float down, release the pressure. Do that again. I press even harder, and then release on the way down. Good. Try to keep your waist nice and strong. So we're moving from those hip joints down. Yeah, let's do that a few more times. Yeah, so knowing that that bottom leg has to come up too, it's okay if you hold back and don't lift that top leg as high. Want to be able to get those ankles totally together. Now pause at the bottom, lift both up together and release down together. So double leg lift and down. Good. Now you're getting to that maximum push right away on the ball for 2. For 1, now hold up and stay. My bottom leg isn't going to move. My top leg is going to reach back as I roll the ball forward. So I'm rotating, twisting towards the floor, and then I come back and bring both ankles together. Do that again. Brush that leg back at hip height. Get a nice rotation through the spine, and then come back. 2 more times. That bottom inner thigh is still there. Whew, that might be the hardest part. Last one, split and reach in those 2 directions. Come back together and then rest all the way down. Whew, very nice. All right, now before we switch sides, come up onto your elbow. On this same side, take the ball, roll it a little closer, and place your palm directly on it. Okay, reach your top leg out to straight, parallel. Toes can be on the floor. Okay, now same idea of putting pressure onto the ball, but we have a lot more leverage with this elbow bent. So that's all we're gonna do for now. So as you exhale, just pretend like you were trying to pop the ball. So you're gonna squish it down and then release. Yeah, and you might notice as you push down, you feel kind of this natural lifting under the bottom side of the waist. There's that opposition, down with the arm, up under the waistline. All right, now you have the choice. If you would like, when you push onto that ball, hover and lift your bottom hip off the floor, almost to a modified side plank, and then come back down. Good, do that again. Press and lift, my hip lifts, and then I lower. So now we get more of that connection happening on the bottom side of our body. Okay, now if you'd like, the other thing that can start to happen is our top leg can be lifting and then it can be lowering. So at the same time as everything else is going, that leg lifts a little and then lowers a little. 2 more times, up and then down. Now this time hold up there and stay. You're gonna start to lower and lift that leg, and if you'd like, you're gonna press and release with this hand on the ball. Time that however feels natural to you for 3, 2, 1, and then come all the way down. Whew. Okay, last thing is we're going to try this with 2 straight legs if you'd like. If not, repeat what we just did. Ankles together is slightly more challenging. Feet staggered might be a little bit easier. So you pick what's going to work best for you. So here we go. Now, let's skip straight to the good stuff. Let's just go into rising right up to our plank. So as I push into the ball, see if you can pick that bottom hip up off the floor and then touch it down. Yes, feel free to bend that knee at any time if that's what you need. Okay, all right. Now, when you're ready, that top leg can also lift and then lower. Whew, it's a lot going on. Lift and then lower 2 more times, and then we're going to stay there for those same pulses. Last one. Now, I lower and lift. Push and release on the ball. 3, 2, 1, and touch all the way down. Oh, okay, so good. Let's flip over and repeat all of that on the other side. Okay, so get situated, head in your hand, arm is long on the ball, ankles together. All right, so we start just pushing and releasing into the ball. Yes, so that arm is far out from us, so we don't have quite as much push or pushing potential, but do your best while keeping good alignment through the shoulder. All right, now on the push, I also float the top leg, release and lower. So really try to find this relationship to the pressure on the ball and with the lift of the leg. Yeah, so those 2 things go hand in hand. Now, or hand and foot. Now, lift up and hold. Bottom leg comes up to meet it. Push even harder. And then release on the way down. So top leg, bottom leg, and then lower together. Up, up, and then down. So gauge for yourself where that top leg needs to end up in order to be doable, to be reached by the bottom leg. All right, one more. And then we're going to leave those ankles together. Push and lift both legs. Release and lower. Press and lower. Feel a little bit of a depression slightly of that scapula. Yes, so it's not getting pulled away from you. Draw it down 2 more times. Good. Now lift up and stay. Bottom leg doesn't move. I roll the ball forward. I kind of tip onto my bottom elbow. Top leg reaches back. I return to where I started. Do that again. Roll away. If you need to set your bottom leg on the mat in order to do this, you are absolutely welcome to. Good. Reaching that leg back at hip height. No more, no less. Last time, push and rotate, and then come all the way back. Right. Okay, come up to your elbow. So progressing to the next level here, bring the ball closer. palm on top, top leg straight. Here we go. So find that pressure on the ball a couple times just to reconnect to what this feels like on our new side, okay? Make sure your elbow is forward a little bit so that when our hips lift, we're all in one long line. So now, hip lifts with the pressure of that hand and then lowers. Exhale. So feel super active underneath the lat on this bottom side. Push and then lower. Okay. At any point, this top leg can lift as well. Yes, but just know you have choice. You have many choices. You even have choices I'm not telling you about. Yes, so take the version that you need today. Whatever it is, it's a good one. Now lift up and hold. As I tap and lift this top leg, I'm going to push and release on the ball. For 3, keep the hips stable. 2, 1, and then come all the way down. Whew. All right, one more go. Either repeat or try with 2 long legs. Okay, here we go. So right away, we'll push and lift, and then release and lower. Yes, so all these opposing forces, the hand into the ball, the waistline lifting up through the hips. Feel those 2 forces working together. Okay, now maybe the top leg hovers and then lower. See if you can do that all at the same time. Lift and then lower. Last one, lift up and stay. Now I press and release as I push with the leg and the ball. 3, 2, 1, and then come all the way down. So good. Okay, I love those with the ball to feel those forces. That's so great. Okay, so we're going to do one last little series. This one's a fun kind of challenge. So let's see how we do with it. So place the ball between your ankles. Tuck your toes under so the balls of the feet are on the mat. Okay, and then get your hands directly under your shoulders, really spread out through the fingertips, okay? So your legs will be as far apart as they need to be to accommodate the ball with a little squeeze on it from your ankles, okay? So from here, keep your long neutral spine. All you're gonna do is give the ball a gentle squeeze, even greater, with those inner thighs, and then release it, okay? Take that deep exhale as you squeeze. Feel that wrapping around of the abdominals and then let it go. Yeah, the relax is just as important as the squeeze. So we don't want to be holding that tension any longer than is necessary. Okay, so now as I squeeze the ball, I'm also going to flex my spine. So go into a gentle cat stretch, push the feet into the floor, and then as you let go of the squeeze on the ball, go into a gentle extension, stretch the abs, and totally let go of any squeeze on the ball. And then do that again. Push, feel those forces driving into the ground, and then release and stretch it out. Good, do that a few more times. As you go into that extension, feel your sits bones widening apart from each other. Do that one more time. Now this time, hold the flexion and release the ball halfway. Pulse 3 times as you exhale. And then go into your stretch. Do that again. Flex forward, push as hard as you can on the ball, release it halfway, feel your abs lifting more and more with each of these 3 pulses, in and out with your heels, and then go back to the stretch. Do that one more time. Big press on the ball, release it a little bit, and feel the abs lift, 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 and then go back into the stretch. Okay, so now that we've kind of connected to the inner thighs and abdominals here, stay neutral, take a breath in, and we're just going to do a little preparatory hover here. So push the mat away, keep your neutral spine, and see if you can just pick your knees up off of the mat, hold it as long as you'd like, and then come down. Okay, kind of check in, see how that went, and modify as needed. You can lift one knee only. That could be great. You could lift one knee at a time. That would be great too. Just do what you need, okay? So the next place we're going to take this is once we hover our knees, we're going to straighten our legs, pike up, get into a nice kind of upside down V, and then set your knees on the mat. Do that again. Lift and press, drop the crown of the head, and then come on down. Good. Now I'm just leaving my heels kind of high where they are in space rather than stretching them to the mat, okay? You do what works best for you, but I find that that gives me a nice connection onto the ball. You can feel like you're squeezing the ball even more as you go upside down. All right, now we're going to stay there and see about some upside down piked push-ups, because why not, okay? So keep this long line, bend your elbows as if you could tap the crown of the head to the floor, and then straighten. Now that can be as small of an elbow bend as you need it to be. We'll do 3 more. Keep the heels high so the weight stays in the arms. 2, last 1, and then touch your knees to the mat. Whew. All right, next challenge is going to be removing one hand. We're not doing push-ups anymore. I should say that. That was it. That was our little push-up experience. So now pike up and stay. Squeeze the ball, and I want you to see if you can just lift one hand off the ground and put it down. Feel what that does in your abdominals. For me, that lights up my low abdominals like crazy to lift up in order to remove that hand. Okay, now if this is going pretty well, remove the hand and try to tap your opposite ankle and then come down. So my left hand goes to my right hand goes to my left, and try to move the rest of your body as little as possible. For 2, try not to swing your hips, and then put your knees down. Whew. Oh, ooh, balls there, that's nice. Okay, so now last thing, we're gonna pike and reach all at the same time. If all at the same time doesn't work for you, then break it up, okay? So here we go. Breaking it up would look like pike first, then touch a foot, hand back down, and then lower. So we'll do 1 touch per lift. Up, reach across, return, and then lower. Smoothing it together would look like lift and touch at the same time, return and lower. Now this is tricky. We have a pretty narrow base with the leg since we're squeezing the ball. If you need to, get rid of the ball and do this with wider feet. 2, 1, and then come on down. Okay, your ball is right between your ankles, so just go ahead and sit back on it if that's comfortable. Slide your hands away from you and just come into a shell stretch. You can rest your forehead if that feels good. Good. Okay, walk both your hands off to the right side of your mat. Pick your hips up and move them a little more over your left heel, and just see if you can open up through that left side of your spine and armpit a little more. And then go to the other side. Hands to the left, shift the hips to the right. Take a nice deep breath. All right, stretch straight through the middle one last time. And then just walk your hands back, crawl your body up. And that is all. We are done. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed that, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions for future videos. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And please share this video with a friend if you think they would enjoy it too. Okay, and thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.